everyone, it's Jack, Tom and Sam from Cultaholic, and it's time for another lovely 9 pitches video because it's on Thursday. It's bloody Super Showdown and we all could not be more excited. Gents, how are you today?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
I've stopped spreading disease around the office.
You better have.
Yeah.
Because if I get ill, then
You're in beta house. It's
we're
fine. You're
we're
perfectly
gonna
safe.
find out how far we can get this into your body if I get ill.
I reckon to about there. I reckon.
Like from the bottom or
I've
from
done
the
some
top?
Tibetan meditation that means it should
This
probably
is
reach
taking
about there.
a weird turn. But I'm all right, Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Lads, cheers once you've finished doing that.
Talking about sticking this where the sun don't shine.
Now, of course, the rules for 9 pitches is that we'll cycle around the table, giving one each until we've all done 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9.
6.
That's how maths works. And the rule is, of course, that it's not what we think will happen.
It's what we want to happen.
Tom, very good there. Is this your first pitches video?
I think it's my 4th. It's been a while. It's been a
I
while.
thought you'd never done one before. I feel really bad now.
Nah, it's fine. I just act like I've just got here.
It's probably because on all the ones that I miss, it's you who fills in, so that's why I've thought. Anyway, we'll crack right on with Sam's
start.
first. No, we're doing it. No, we can't change that now.
You have to do it this way.
You have
It's
to
the
do it this
rules
way.
of the land.
Sam, what's your first pitch?
Okay, well, my first pitch, and it's going to make so many people angry, and I can't wait. My pitch is that Goldberg steamrolls Wyatt. He doesn't just beat him. It's like a spear, 1, 2, 3, done. Like, that's it. Spear jackhammer puts him away.
Now, obviously, that will make a lot of people angry because
Yeah.
of the Fiend and everything.
Yep.
But I want to know your logic behind this.
No, like
Were you a WCW child by any chance, Sam?
Yeah, I was. No,
Yeah.
The whole crack is, I don't know. I just sort of want to watch the world burn. There's no other reason. I want to see the internet response when Goldberg walks all over the Fiend. And the thing is, like, I love the Fiend. Love him. Like, love Wyatt. Love everything he's doing right now. Think he's great as champion. But the way the internet's been going on, a bit entitled, like, well, this red lighting needs to go. Goldberg should win. And all these things. What if he actually wins? These same people are going to be like, well, this is ridiculous. You've given the belt to a 50-year-old. I want to see what happens when Goldberg just walks all over the Fiend and all of wrestling fandom on the internet simultaneously catches on fire and explodes and I guess wets itself out of anger.
Do you think where will this rank amongst, because we've seen before the internet explode when things have happened, like, I mean, I wasn't fully watching at the time, but when Bryan lost to Sheamus in a few
Yes.
seconds, or when more recently there was that Hell in a Cell match between Rollins and The Fiend, where do you think this would rank in terms of distressing fan reaction?
I think it'd be pretty high. The thing is, like, it's one of those weird things, because I said from the get-go, the Fiend does not need the belt. By giving the belt to the Fiend, you're putting him in a corner because eventually he has to be beaten, and he has to be beaten definitively, and at that point you've weakened the character because he's supposed to be this weird ethereal demon from like another dimension. And, you know, if he gets beat by somebody, then where does he go? Should have never put the belt on him. And I think by having quite a definitive big shocking loss at Saudi Mania, you can just sort of have that done, have the massive outcry, and then allow Bray to move on into like much bigger programs with different people without the belt. I think like he's sort of trapped a little bit. I don't know. But part of what I think as well is because this isn't going to happen. It's just one of those things. I want to see what the internet would do. That's the only reason I've said it.
There's a bit of substance beneath your Joker-esque
Yeah.
madness. So yeah, I suppose.
Well, it's just sort of like I don't know. I think when the Fiend is definitively beaten eventually, which is probably going to come at Mania.
No, I think it's gonna be this
I hope
Thursday,
it is.
mate. Yeah.
But I think when he is definitively beaten, he needs to go away for a while. I think it's going to be like a slumber type thing. Like the Fiend disappears and we're just left with Wyatt, who's now alone, and he doesn't know why he's alone. And then eventually the Fiend will come back. And then eventually we will, and it's going to happen, we're going to have a Fiend versus Wyatt match. That is going to happen at some point.
A Fiend versus Wyatt match.
They will get somebody all like painted up with tattoos. We'll have twin magic. It will happen.
Okay.
100% that's going to happen in future.
Tom, is it a yes or a no from you?
Had it been at any other wrestling show in the calendar, I'd have said no.
It's the perfect storm,
but
isn't it?
because it's Saudi Mania,
Like,
as you called
yeah.
it, and because they have a history
Well,
of just
it's
trolling the
equal to or
audience.
bigger than WrestleMania, possibly bigger than, you know.
Exactly. And because they have a history of just trolling the audience at this event,
Yeah.
I think it's very possible. I'm not saying I'd like it,
But I do feel like that they are currently holding the Etch-a-Sketch that is the Fiend, and they're just about to go, start again!
It's the most controversial event on the calendar. Tensions are always high around the events. People boycott them. People don't want to watch them. People just refuse to accept that they're a thing and ignore them until they go away. So I think if you want to do something that controversial, there's no better time to do it, because you can do that. You can have Hogan come out. You can do everything controversial on this show, and it'll all be contained in this one bubble of like, oh my God, F Saudi Arabian WWE shows. And then we'll have the build to Mania, and it'll be fine.
So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
It's a yes from me as well, because for a slightly different reason, I also just share this sort of morbid desire to see what the internet will do.
I don't know what would happen.
And also, I think that I know you said you've enjoyed the Fiend's run. I've not quite enjoyed it as much.
I think for me, it's slowed down with the belt. It's made it a bit more...
before the belt,
yeah,
great.
It was great.
But the Hell in a Cell match and everything, that was a bit of a turning point for me. So yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Bray because he pours everything into that character.
I think this is where you can do something interesting, where you have maybe the Fiend leaves him, and you can have like a little bit of time here where you don't see the Fiend for a couple of months.
Okay.
And then he appears when there's like a massive feud.
Yeah.
Or even Bray just disappears for a while.
Or we were talking about the mask the other day. Whoever puts on the Fiend mask gets possessed. No. Right, it's a yes from me and it's a yes from Tom. Sam,
Lovely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The world will burn.
Yep.
Tom, what is your first pitch for Saudi Arabia?
Mine's a
for Super Showdown.
Equality for all. My first pitch, similar to Sam's, is a little bit because it is Saudi Mania, and because they like to sometimes troll or just mess with the booking a little bit.
Yeah.
R-Truth goes the distance.
In the Gauntlet match?
Yes. Now, I don't think he'll win it, but I think it will start with, say, R-Truth and Rowan, and Truth will roll up Rowan.
Okay.
Sneaky win there. Out comes maybe Andrade, who gets frustrated that he can't beat him, clangs him with the US title, gets DQ'd.
Okay.
Out comes, who's next?
Ray, AJ?
Ray's out next. No, Lashley's out next. Lashley batters Truth. Somehow Truth fights from underneath, roll up and wins him.
Okay.
Ray comes out. They have a hell of a battle. Somehow R-Truth beats Ray. I've not thought that way through.
Drop an F5 at some point on somebody. An F5, an attitude adjustment.
Oh, I think he may bust it out early. Maybe bust it out there then.
Okay.
Maybe bust out some of the moves there. Or then bust them out against AJ, because AJ comes out last. He busts them out against AJ, involve the OC.
Oh.
They scupper all the plans, and AJ pins R-Truth, literally come within nanoseconds of winning the entire thing from number one. This potentially set... I mean, like, they've been jokingly kind of, with tongue planted firmly in cheek, teasing R-Truth and John Cena. A little bit.
They have.
A little bit.
The thing that I found interesting here is that recently Brock Lesnar has been requesting, apparently, to work with R-Truth a bit
According
more.
to R-Truth.
And
which I'm not saying that R-Truth's lying.
But it was all over the internet, and everything,
Yes.
wasn't it? And there was a lot of hype around it. And the thing is, R-Truth can go. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
that guy's like,
Yeah.
he's like a joke wrestler. He's not. The guy can like properly go.
He's
been able to
ageless.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
He just is still as amazing as he always was.
Yeah.
And I think R-Truth deserves a serious run before he eventually bows out.
It'd be nice.
And I think to do something like this and have him go the distance, he doesn't have to win it, but have him go the distance and look dominant, and seeing R-Truth of old means that he can be taken a little bit more seriously, and you could maybe move him to having that match with Lesnar at some point.
But I'd like to see him have a match with Cena before we get there.
Or
I
match
feel
with
like
Cena.
My childhood hero, John Cena.
I'll show you how that match goes. It goes like this.
Yeah.
So this is an STF.
Yeah.
Goes nowhere near you, and then you tap. That's it.
I'm
There you
assuming
go.
that he'd tag with Cena against two rapscallions from the WWE. What am I talking about?
Rapscallions. But yeah, so whether it builds to something with R-Truth, or even if it doesn't, as we say, it's Super Showdown Saudi Arabia. It is this weird enclosed bubble, so it may lead to nothing at all. But even so, be funny on the night.
So you are saying that he starts from the beginning and then comes second. But
he plows. He somehow gets through everybody else.
Then it's a yes from me, because I think having him go all the way and win the prestigious Tuwaiq trophy, that's too far for me. That's a belt. That's a whatever it is with a lot of lineage, and I don't think we can waste that on R-Truth.
Plus, one of my pitches involves AJ having to win. So that's why he hasn't won on this occasion.
I mentioned this on mine and Ross's predictions video for this show the other day, but when we were talking about this match, Aidan, our lovely news writer in the office, we were like, oh yeah, the Tuwaiq trophy, and he went, It's only about 800 meters tall. It's not even a mountain. It's just really, really unimpressed.
So what's he want, like a
800 meters.
cumbersome mountain-sized trophy to carry out?
What if
with
it is?
him?
What if it's an accurate scale trophy?
I don't know.
How are they going to get that home? Sellotape it to the bottom of the plane?
Well, the Undertaker's there for a reason. He's just going to carry it across the sea. So it's a yes from me, Tom. What about you, Sam?
I reckon it's a yes. I'd like to see R-Truth, have a bit of ground and actually be taken seriously for once. Yeah. Because he's a great comedy guy, but as I said, the guy can go. The guy's properly
Let's have
great.
the R-Truth that headlined against John Cena at Capital. Was it Capital
Why are you so
Punishment
desperate
in
for Cena
2005?
Truth? I don't understand this.
That's the match I feel like needs to happen.
I'd see it.
It's happened before in Preve.
Truth.
In another
You'd
lifetime.
take that, but you'd take that over Lesnar Truth?
We'll get to that.
With a Truth that can go?
There's me booking like 2020 the year of R-Truth.
I think the Cena ones had more seeds sown and but I don't know. But either way, I think it's a good idea. And I'm just stalling because I've forgotten my first pick. I've remembered it. Don't worry.
Excellent.
Mine involves
Jack wins.
Mine involves Brock Lesnar. So it would have been a nice segue. So Lesnar's obviously facing Ricochet.
You could have done a rewind. You could have just...
It's awful from me.
Yeah.
Lesnar's obviously facing Ricochet. And no one, obviously Ricochet's not going to win. I'm not going to pitch that Ricochet should win. However, I'm worried, and I've seen a lot of people predict this, both in person and online, that Ricochet is going to get just demolished. I don't quite think that'll happen because we've seen Lesnar have all right matches with the likes of, good matches with the likes of Balor, Bryan, very close competitive matches that he has won in the end. I'd like it to be more that side of things than a squash, but I want it to be more than that. And this might sound ridiculous, but I think that Ricochet should kick out of 2 F5s en route to defeat. Because one,
Snap the underdog, isn't he?
Yeah, well, one, you think, whoa, he's all fired up. It's the biggest show of the year. And then the second one, you're like, hang on, what's going on here? And then the third one puts him away. I think 2's the right number of F5s for Ricochet to kick out of. And I think that by the end, like maybe even after the match, Lesnar is clearly, visibly very annoyed that Ricochet has shown such resistance. Then he goes on to do something else at Mania, out of that title picture with Drew and Lesnar. But then later on, we can remind ourselves of how brave he was back then. So that's my pitch.
Do you know what I thought was, what I would love to happen during this match?
Yeah.
Is for Lesnar to come in and start just demolishing Ricochet, okay? Like really taking him to task. And then Ricochet tries to get some high-flying stuff in. Lesnar plants him again. And then he just grabs him by the scruff of the neck and he's like, oh, like, you can fly and do all this stuff. And then Brock busts out his moonsault or shooting star press. But this is what turns the tide. So he goes for the shooting star press. Ricochet gets the knees up. And then Ricochet is then on from that point onwards on the front foot.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's better than mine. So
But
cheers,
no,
mate.
I like yours though.
Thank you.
I think Ricochet should.
Can we
as I said, he's
them?
the snappy
Can
underdog.
we combine them into one
Yeah,
super pitch?
if you want.
All right.
I'll
Yes,
give it to
please.
you. There you
Cheers,
go.
man.
Yeah.
I don't think he should kick out of 2.
Okay.
I think he should kick out of 1.
Okay.
But I think it should be Brock Lesnar.
This
kind
isn't
of-
PWG, Tom.
It might be me. But I think he should batter him. But then Brock Lesnar does the arrogant F5, 1 foot on Ricochet. And then Ricochet kicks out of 2. And he's like, what? And he's so angry, he picks him up and
Well, fair enough.
goes to drop him again. But I think
If
maybe...
he stands on his shoulders, he can't kick out.
Well, you'll stand on his
Why doesn't
chest.
everybody pin like that? Just stand on the shoulders.
All the effort on the shoulders. I think Ricochet will find like 1,000 different ways to avoid the F5.
Right.
Like he'll like...
He's gonna flip out of an F5, isn't he? He's gonna spin him and he's gonna land on his feet somehow.
I reckon he'll spin midair, land on his feet,
Yeah.
and Brock's like,
And Lesnar will be all
"Whoa."
that accomplished, and he'll turn around and see him, and it'll be like, what?
I'm excited for this match now.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
So it's a no.
It's
I'll give it a yes. I'll give it a yes.
don't
'cause
give
it's
me
a
sim-
massive yes
Don't
from
give me
me.
a sympathy yes, Tom. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
It's a
don't,
okay.
we don't do simpy here, Tom.
We'll do a maybe
simpy.
then.
A maybe.
We'll do a maybe. Call me Wednesday.
Okay. What was that sound there? Did you hear that in the office?
I think it was somebody
I think it was
banging on
our
the
writer
pin.
Aiden restarting.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he's,
Your Aiden is rebooting.
he's just Googled and realised that Tuwaiq is taller than he thought it was. Oh, no.
1,200 meters. Ah!
Sam, what is your second pitch?
So my second pitch concerns the Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin. No, I said Dolph Ziggler. Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin cage match.
Yes.
And now Michael Cole on SmackDown several times said, for the final time ever. It's not going to be for the final time ever, is it, Michael? Is it? So I think what's going to happen here is that we will end this match inconclusively. Yes, it's in a cage, but I think there's going to be interference on behalf of both guys. So the Usos will come out, and then we'll also have Ziggler and Rude, and we'll have that thing just continue a little bit. And this will lead to probably a Corbin victory, and then this is going to push everything to Mania, where, we've done dog food and everything. Above the ring, have you ever seen like scaffold matches?
Yeah.
Above the ring, there's like a massive trough. It's 20 feet by 20 feet, and it's full of dog food. Now they have to do this at the end of the night because it's going to be horrible to clean up.
So this has to main event.
So it's the main event of WrestleMania.
Saudi Mania.
No, this
leads to WrestleMania. Sorry, of course, yeah.
So yeah, Tampa Bay, 20 foot by 20 foot trough. It's about 9 feet deep, and it's full of dog food. And the loser, it's the first person to get to the corner. It's on a pole. You've got to press a button on a pole. And then that turns it all over on the loser.
What's your pitch? Sorry, I've got lost here. I'm really lost.
My big pitch is that essentially that match is gonna
The cage will be
and it'll lead to this
and it will
trough.
Not that it will lead to that, but that's what I want.
It leads to the
My
trough.
pitch is essentially that this feud isn't done. It's going to be the hottest feud of 2022. I guarantee it. It's Michael Cole was like, for the final time.
You're meant to
It's
try and
not.
convince us to say yes to these pitches.
The other thing I'm thinking is what have we got currently set up really for Roman and or Corbin? Corbin's a big guy now.
I don't know about Corbin.
There's not really a lot you can do with him with other big people on SmackDown.
I feel like we're heading into Roman versus Goldberg, but that's just what I think is going to happen. But you never know.
Yeah.
I think Roman's going to win the belt at Mania.
I think Roman's probably the guy that's going to beat the Fiend, but I just don't think we've got enough time left.
Bill's going to beat the Fiend.
Yeah.
Bill's going to beat him. It's going to be amazing. So unfortunately, it's a no from me, just because nothing against your pitch, especially the dog food idea. Love that. But I think
I think if you put the person in the ring as well, you could do like a fake write-off angle for a bit. You could say that they died, but they didn't. And
They
come
died.
back 90 style. Well, they'd be drowned by all that dog food. Or crushed. And then you can just have them come back at a shocking moment. Lights go out. Boom. Corbin's there. But he's got his long hair again and he's a motorbiker.
So
you know how the Undertaker got buried?
He's got his little spotlights.
The Undertaker got buried, then when he returned, it was bursting through a casket.
Yes.
Would Baron Corbin burst out of a tin of dog food?
All right, I can sweeten the deal. We can have the old school, 3x3x3, really deep 4x3 TVs. You remember what they used to use instead of a Tron back
Different dimensions,
Oh,
aren't they?
yes.
And then they used to have the 9 screens. And
Yeah,
3
yeah,
rows
yeah.
of 3. So Corbin's lying there in the ring, just completely smothered in dog food at the point where you can't see. The entire ringside area is full of dog food.
All I said was no. I don't know what's happened.
Right?
This is
And
sweetening the deal.
And then
right.
you see Corbin go up to heaven like Undertaker did.
So Marty Jannetty dressed as Baron Corbin, rising.
And then we'd need probably.
I feel like the substitute teacher who's lost control of the class. If the cheer was here. So it's a no from me, and it's nothing against your pitch. I'm sorry. It's more just.
But there'd
the
be a
fact.
swimming pool
It's
full
just
of dog
no
food.
from me, and it's nothing against your pitch. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm sick of this feud.
I'm gonna
so
stop
much.
taking mescaline.
I'm so sick of this.
Never stop.
I'm so sick of this feud. It's been dragging on for a long time, and it's not even in my mind because they think it's good. I think it's just because as you say, they've got nothing really to do for either man. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's a no from me, Tom.
I'm going to say no, but in terms of the trough dog food thing, let's pop a pin in that. Because WrestleMania is round the corner. Let's pop a pin in that.
Only if, when it turns over, the entire... You know how there's the crowd barrier up to here?
Yeah.
All of that, all the way up to, the ramp. That entire thing is just full of dog food.
So it's just, you're just swimming in dog food.
Yeah.
So it would have to go on last.
Then Roman gets halfway up the ramp and he realizes he's hungry and he comes back and he starts just eating it.
Eats his way through it.
Like people in attendance just floating along. You just see Kenny going,
Just a dad and his son with a collector's cup. Get some, Timmy. It's a souvenir.
Kenny's just like, mate, help me. I'm swimming in dog food. Wait, Matthew's going as well. Sorry, pal.
Not having a good day,
This is not as nice as fizzy water. Tom, your second.
Well, the
pitch,
problem
then.
is I can't follow that in terms of daftness. Mine was to do with the Reigns Corbin cage match.
Okay. You can bring it serious again. I've got another serious one.
I've got no caveat about dog
I don't
food.
have anything serious left. My last one is...
Left?
Amazing. See, you had one serious one. Amazing scenes. Mine was simply Corbin gets hoyed off the cage.
Oh.
Because Corbin does, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Corbin does anything particularly like dangerous, extravagant as
Yeah,
an
but when he
in-ring
goes up top
performer.
now.
He gets labelled as a boring performer, and really he's actually just a consistent.
Oh, he's got a nice
performer.
moveset, but he's not very high risk. No.
Yeah.
But I feel like they might use this opportunity, since this is the end of the Reigns-Corbin feud, that Corbin does something dramatic, and it'll either be he climbs at the top and Reigns throws him off the top, so he takes a big old bump maybe through a table in the ring or
Okay.
something.
Bloody hell.
Or as he's climbing out of the ring. I mean, this could be how Corbin wins the match. You have Reigns and Corbin outside the ring, and Reigns bounces Corbin's head off the cage, and he goes flying back off the top of the cage
Is this to show
through
that
the
he's
announce
just
table.
as brave as all the other boys and girls?
Basically, yeah.
I like
Just
that.
a dramatic way to either somehow have Corbin eke out a win, or just to establish Reigns as, by the way, I am a monster. Sod all this dog food malarkey. I'm going to obliterate this guy. I originally wanted to say Roman Reigns to spear Corbin through the cage, but I think they did that.
They did that with Lesnar.
With Lesnar
Yeah.
last time they were fighting in Saudi Arabia, so I don't think they'll do that again.
I like it.
And his feet didn't touch the floor.
Yeah, it was they made the referee take the blame for that. He had to come out and go, "Sorry, lads.
Sorry,
I messed
everybody.
up." I like it. I was there or thereabouts until you said it makes Corbin. It reminds everyone that Corbin is a good wrestler, as you mentioned. He's very underrated in the ring. But also when you said it makes Roman, it adds a different edge to his character, and it makes him look a bit dangerous, and maybe you could argue a touch heelish, but without turning him heel. But just a bit more of a dangerous character, yeah. Because why wouldn't Roman be dangerous? He's a huge, massive super guy.
And if we
super
are...
guy.
He's a big, massive
He's a super guy.
He's a swell guy.
But yeah, I like it. It's a yes from me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll give it a yes.
Hey.
One thing I'd like to know though is where you boys stand on cage rules. What do you like? What do you think about escape?
It depends on the match. I
Because
think.
for me, the purest cage match should just be escape.
Yeah.
Just escape.
Just escape.
Right.
But like, I know that a lot of people are like, well, no, it makes sense. He's running away from his opponent. It's like, well, no. Like,
whole,
for,
like,
me,
yeah.
for me, escape only is the best cage stip.
Because that's the whole premise is that the only way to beat this guy is to beat him so badly that you leave him in
Yeah.
in
You
a
have all
conscious
this
haze
time
in a
that you can
cage.
get up
Or
and
the,
over.
or the, but also it works for the heel because they're trying to run away and they're being a car. Yeah.
Because I hate the door. I hate the door with a passion.
They did. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but they did one on Dynamite recently. Which you have seen it.
Yeah.
yeah, and that was only pinfall or submission. And for
Yeah.
that storyline, just for that,
Yeah.
it really worked then because it's like Cody's locked in with this huge monster.
Yeah.
so it worked then. But I think the rules have to be catered to the story.
Yeah.
The pinfall can be awkward. Like I watched an episode of SmackDown from 1999 recently, the Rock Al Snow cage match, and every time someone went for a pin, the ref had to awkwardly open the door, get in the cage, get in position.
the ref was outside of
The ref was outside.
It was like the
Madness.
WCPW Rumble where you could pin or submit or throw over the top.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That was
Pin
good.
and submission in a Rumble?
Did they do that in Indies?
No.
Yeah.
No, I remember
it fresh.
like sitting there going, what is this?
The Lucha lads loved it. It was very much their sort of thing. My second pitch concerns the SmackDown Women's title match. So it's Bayley and Naomi. And I think that what should happen is, and I can't quite work out, basically what I'm trying to do is, the end goal for me is Sasha versus Bayley at WrestleMania. And because I was talking about this with Ross, I would love to see that again if it was given enough time, because we all know how great their NXT match was. And I think that if they build to it properly, it can be really good. And I think it should start here. But the problem with this is that Naomi's been on such a roll since she came back for the Rumble that I want to keep her strong as well. So I think what should happen is maybe Sasha comes out and either deliberately or accidentally costs Bayley, and then Naomi wins the title. And that leads to Sasha versus Bayley, non-title at Mania, maybe with some kind of stipulation. And then Naomi gets a title match of her own because she deserves that. I just don't know how quite to get to that stage. Maybe Sasha's just sick of Bayley taking all the limelight, because we all know that Sasha's all about, like, I'm the boss, I'm the biggest star on the brand and everything. So maybe she comes out and just costs Bayley at a crucial moment. And Naomi is really shocked, but doesn't want to look the gift horse in the mouth and pins for the wins. I don't know.
I've had a problem with them pairing Sasha and Bayley up because
They do it a lot.
You can't turn Bayley face this quickly.
No.
And Sasha has gone from being the boss to being the little kid that hangs around behind the bully. And when the bully goes, give us your sweets, they lean out and go, yeah.
Where's she been recently?
She's been storyline in LA recording her album.
Okay. With Snoop D or Double Jizzle?
I don't know.
Okay.
Jizzle.
That's what he calls himself.
just Jizzle was funny.
Snoop D double Jizzle. He's in the hizzy nizzle.
But yeah, I think they've sort of caused a dilemma here because I don't think you can turn Sasha face. I don't think you can turn Bayley face. And I don't think that a feud between two heels who we've seen go at it so often is going to fly when we've got Naomi sat right there, sort of really come back on like a massive high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like Naomi to win, but I just don't know about
the Sasha involvement.
Okay,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I think Bayley should win. But I think that they could do something on SmackDown the following night that sets the
I would prefer.
Are they going to get back in time?
I'd prefer a Bayley win.
It was fine last time.
I'd prefer a Bayley win and then have it lead to Naomi Bayley at Mania, but I don't think we're going to get that.
Naomi Bayley at Mania. Yeah. We were there when Naomi won.
Yep.
In Orlando, in her hometown and everything. That was cool. But do you think she'd get another WrestleMania moment so soon after the first one? Can't believe I'm acting like they're rushing out WrestleMania moments. Roman's had like
it's
loads.
Florida again.
Yes, it is Florida again. That's true.
And she's the hottest prospect at the moment. I genuinely thought this would be the match for Mania.
I was about to be like, who's from Tampa? And then I remembered who's from Tampa. Hulk Hogan's from,
So you said Hogan to beat Bayley.
Well,
yeah, there we go.
That's it. Hogan's going to be the
Is Hogan from Tampa?
His beach shops.
Venice Beach, California.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was. Does he live?
No,
Maybe he lives in Tampa.
I'm sure
or
he's.
or
Yeah,
he lives in one and was
Tampa.
from the other or something.
He's an honorary Floridian.
Yeah, brother.
Dishonorary.
I don't know.
Floridian.
Sorry, I don't know how I've made Bayley and Naomi about Hogan.
Because you can't not, because he's the most over superstar in history, brother. Biggest draw ever.
This is what happens when it comes crashing down and it hurts
Only
inside.
love HH.
Okay, well, fair enough. That wasn't the best pitch, but I've been reliably informed that Sam has a whopper of a third pitch. So here we go. Oh my God, he's got the paper. Oh no.
Okay, so
Is there diagrams on it?
this one is called "The Saudi Prince's Dreams All Come True."
Oh God.
Okay.
I'm about to have a story.
So, in my head, I think this trophy is a massive ruse. I don't think we're going to get Taker coming out to confront AJ Styles. What I think is going to happen is this. So, Undertaker is going to appear at an arbitrary point in the show on his float. You remember his big float?
Yeah.
Okay. Except it's not playing his music because next to him is Hulk Hogan and it's blasting a version of Real American called Real Arabian.
Yep.
So, they're going to be going around the stadium. And then as they sort of go around the stadium,
outside or the
no, the inside.
Okay.
They're gonna for the entire event go around the inside of the stadium just on a loop, and we're gonna have a guy dressed as Yokozuna, but he's so far away that you can't tell it's not him.
Yeah.
Same for The Rock, Bret Hart, Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth, Eddie Guerrero, Big Boss Man. These are all people that the Saudi Prince has formally requested.
Yeah.
But they're so far away that you can't really tell. Everybody else is indifferent because they're indifferent. About like the shows in general. When they're on the floor, they sort of sit there just like on their phones. It's just one of those weird things, isn't it? But I think they're going to be going around for about 5 hours, just and occasionally blocking the hard cam.
Yeah.
You gotta get it round. Everybody else is just very confused.
It's a really crucial part of the match.
Like we're all confused by it. Everybody's confused by it. But there's one bloke. You just see like one little like balcony from like a private box where it's just absolutely popping off, and that's the Saudi Prince.
It's
loving
popping
it.
off.
Like all of his dreams have come true. But yeah, I think
He's in there raving to Pitbull while this is going on. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Right.
So I think the indifference of the audience is going to play into it because it's going to make it funnier. Like because there'll be this massive float just going around blasting a version of Real American, and they're all just sort of still sat there in their couches on their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
However long is left on this video, there's no point watching it because that is the peak.
Yeah, what do we do now,
That is
Sam?
the peak there.
I told you to start with you.
Start watching another video. Start watching another video. That's the peak right there. I say yes, 100,000 times yes.
I was wavering until you said it occasionally blocks the hard cam, and then that was two Phoenix Nights for me not to say yes, really. So I think that, yeah, go on then. Yeah. Why not?
I love it.
Yes.
Cheers, mate, for that.
Pivotal moment in the match and just round they come.
It's like really obnoxiously comes through.
Real Arabian.
Yeah.
He's beeping a horn, like a little float horn as well. It's like a beep, beep.
Yeah. I like it. Right, Tom, try and follow that.
Oh, I was going to say Undertaker turns up, but I'd prefer him to turn up on a float.
Yeah. I mean, you alluded to yours on
The news.
our news video the other day. So why don't you go on?
So
and elaborate a bit?
AJ somehow survives. R-Truth wins the gauntlet.
Yes.
Holds the trophy aloft.
Yes.
Lights out. Dong. Lights up.
Dead man.
There he is. Old Spoopy Mark. Going,
Spoopy
hey.
Mark.
Just does the whole spielangs. Eyes roll the back of the head. Lights off, away we go. Now, Undertaker's going to be on Raw March the 9th.
Is that a real thing, or have you included this in the... Oh, right, okay, nice.
No, this isn't the pitch.
No,
right.
yeah.
That's the thing. Undertaker, according to the venue, it's going to be on Raw March the 9th.
Okay.
So I feel like this is where we start the journey for Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
You know what? That's a match that I'd like to see, because I think that, as I mentioned to you briefly, I think that AJ could help Undertaker have like maybe his last great match.
Saying this could be a modern day Bret Hart versus Tom McGee.
No, not quite. But I do
Imagine
think
comparing Undertaker to Tom McGee.
McGee's on the float, mate. He's going round.
I think that AJ and Undertaker could be really good, because AJ is more of a Shawn Michaels in that he's a better opponent for Taker. He doesn't have to lift someone who's massive and bulky. He can chuck AJ around. He'll bump like a legend for him.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good. And I recently watched AJ versus Shane, which is a match that was way better than it had any right to be, because AJ bumped like crazy for Shane McMahon. So what could he do for The Undertaker? I like it, Tom.
I'd like to change my pitch slightly to have it so instead of the lights go off and he appears, he just jumps off the float. At the end of the match, like AJ's trying to do his speech, like, I won this trophy all by myself.
The problem here is that the float blocks the only exit for the stadium for several minutes. They get caught up in like a curtain or something, or a bunch of cables. Like everybody's trying to leave, and it's about 45 minutes until they get it out of the way, and then it runs out of petrol.
And they're very
It's
aware.
been idling.
They're very aware that they're being
Hogan needs a wee.
obstinate, but Hogan's still up there posing, despite the fact they know they're in the way. Like they're just frozen. But no, as the float comes past, AJ's doing his speech, and he just says, "Can you keep it down? I'm trying to talk." And Undertaker, incensed, because Hogan's upset now, because Hogan's crying. He jumps down.
Cheers, mate. Hogan's crying now.
Cheers, mate. Hogan's crying.
Look at what you've done to him. I'm not going to get him to sleep now.
It's come crashing down and it hurts inside. That's when he jumps off the float and says, "We're having a match in Mania. See you then."
It's a yes either way.
Get it.
Float or not.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a yes.
Nice one.
Right.
Incorporate the float.
No.
Hashtag incorporate the float.
No, because mine...
Unwieldy hashtag.
I'm coming all...
Go get over.
I'm coming all like cyclical here, because I'm bringing it back to the first pitch we talked about, which was Sam's for Bray versus Goldberg.
Yes.
And this is... Don't worry, lads. This is my silly one. Wait.
Here we go.
It's not going to be anywhere
Bray
near
has
as
a
silly.
haircut.
Yeah, I know. He went for a 2 on the side. So, no... It's Goldberg versus Wyatt. Similar to yours in that I think Goldberg should win.
Yeah.
But there's more to the story. Goldberg wins because he spears the Fiend so hard that he bisects him, and the Fiend's in 2 halves.
Right. Does he
Later
turn
on,
into
can
mini
you see
Fiends?
where this is going? Yes, exactly. Right.
Do
okay.
the mini Fiends have full-size legs or just tiny legs?
No, it's just halves of his body.
Oh, just halves
there's
of his
legs
body.
and there's legs. They've both got distinct personalities. It's wacky. Fiend's always like, "Oh, come on, legs, get over here," and that. And the legs are like walking about.
Legs are just giving them sass.
Yeah. The legs is the cheeky half of it.
Yeah.
So they come right. I'll be honest with you. That's all I thought. Now I need to make it.
I kind of hoped it would be as Sam said, when he spears him, it becomes 2 smaller Fiends.
Oh, no.
So then he spears them and they become an additional 2 smaller Fiends.
A way we can incorporate it, he spears him real hard. He goes all the way through the ropes, out into the crowd, gets ran over by the float, cuts him in half.
Either or. As
It's
long
that
as
shot from the Naked Gun, where the float's just going over him.
Everybody, this is all predetermined and planned, obviously, but everybody's like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, he's being ran," and then he just like gives 2 halves.
Well, and then the 2 halves have a match at Mania, but I can't work out whether it's a tag or a singles match.
Well, they call the legs can't tag.
And
Well, we should bring it all the way around. They should tag at Mania, and then at Crown Jewel, they should face off one-on-one.
Yes, and then at the end they hug and they get attached together again.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely ending.
But not properly.
Yeah,
because,
I was going to say
the attached side on.
He's played backwards or something. Yeah.
Together forever. You're right now.
So, yeah, that's my pitch. I just need to clarify or to work out one thing. So, were either of you fans of Robot Wars?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Do you remember Gemini, the split robot?
Yeah.
It was too little. It was like 2 little Chaos 2 ripoffs. It was
like that.
Bollocks. So
I liked it.
Well, fair enough. I
Says a
thought
lot about
it
no
was
disc,
cheap.
mate.
I thought it was cheap. Yeah, I was a Razor fan.
Oh.
Anyway, in Robot Wars, they had a rule that if one half of Gemini was immobilized, then the match was over and both because it's unfair otherwise.
Yeah.
So is that the same for the halves of Bray, or do they both get do what they want?
So do the halves have Freebird
Well,
rules?
technically you could only pin the upper half. So if he just puts the legs in,
Yeah, true.
the upper half's got shoulders.
I reckon.
Can't
to be
pin
honest,
a pair of legs.
the way I'm foreseeing all of these matches going is because the legs haven't got a brain. They're just going to be running about, going crazy, like not even in the ring. And he's like, "Oh my god!"
Just Cossack dancing.
Yeah. So I feel like I've been watching like Animaniacs recently or something.
You couldn't pin the legs because there's no shoulders.
Yeah.
You could.
If you put the legs in a figure 4, it couldn't tap out because it hasn't got
It can
hands.
verbally. Oh, of course it can verbally.
Can't even
It
verbalise.
can verbally tap out. It's just going to make pump noises.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I
I
think
quit
that's
match.
submission.
All you hear is just.
I
mean-
Trump match.
I have to press you for a yes or a no on this.
That's a yes.
It's a yes,
Yeah.
mate.
Oh wow, I wasn't
100%.
expecting it to be so quick and unanimous. Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh yes.
Especially if he gets speared out of the ring and then gets run over by the float.
Yeah, that's fine as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, absolutely.
That's that way you've
I'm happy
hashtag.
to- I'm
That way
happy
you
to
can
put that
hashtag
in.
incorporate the float.
I'm happy to incorporate the float. Hashtag always incorporate the float.
Always incorporate the float.
Hashtag finally we're done, and I'm so relieved. So thanks very much for your pictures, gents. It's been a video.
Of all the videos we've done, this is the most recent
one. And yeah, if you want to watch us react to, I'm not sure which combination of us it'll be at the minute. I think it's me and Ross. But if you want to watch the Cultaholic lads watch a bit of Super Showdown on Thursday, tomorrow when this video goes out even, then you can join us at youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Thanks very much for joining me, Sam and Tom.
Don't forget, if
No
you are going to
bother.
join them live,
All
you'll be-
proceeds will be going to Amnesty International, so it's a great choice. It's a great chance to raise some money for charity as well. Very worthwhile cause, and we'll see you there. Bye. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter at Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.